Welcome to Own Your Words. Narrative. Meaning with example sentences. Pronunciation. Narrative. Narrative. It is a noun and adjective. Pronunciation. Narrative. Narrative. It is a noun and adjective. Noun meaning. 1. A story or a description of a series of events. 2. A particular way of explaining or understanding events. 3. A story or a description of events. 4. A story or account of events, experiences, or the like, whether true or fictitious. 5. A story that connects and explains a carefully selected set of supposedly true events, experiences, or the like, intended to support a particular viewpoint or thesis. 6. A narrative is a story that you write or tell to someone, usually in great detail. 7. A spoken or written account of connected events, a story. 8. The narrated part of a literary work, as distinct from the dialogue. 9. The practice or art of telling stories. 10. A representation of a particular situation or process in such a way as to reflect or conform to an overarching set of aims or values. Noun examples. 1. It's a moving narrative of wartime adventure. 2. There was pressure on academics to construct narratives of the period that were positive. 3. The novel is a wonderful narrative of wartime adventure. 4. Sloane began his narrative with the day of the murder. 5. When she faltered, Daft Donald would take up the narrative on his computer. 6. Thus urged, I began the narrative of my experience for the last year. 7. Their narratives were accounts of how a democratic state had been achieved. 8. It spools out and out of my mouth, narrative, dialogue, and commentary. 9. In the realm of mythic narrative, the same stories keep getting reincarnated. 10. Labor needs to find a new narrative. And the conservatives must stick to their story. 11. Similarly, he acknowledges that the slave narratives were always survivor stories. 12. Altogether there are 33 narratives and 22 opinion statements. Adjective meaning. 1. Telling a story or describing a series of events. 2. Consisting of or being a narrative. 3. Of or relating to narration, or the telling of a story. 4. Consisting of or characterized by the telling of a story. 5. In the form of or concerned with narration. Adjective examples. 1. My English teacher's narrative skill makes characters seem to come to life. 2. Grandfather's tone dropped into its narrative groove again. 3. But from a narrative point of view, in 105 pages nothing happens. 4. But that would have been owed to his 2 great narrative poems, rather than his plays. 5. I would have probably continued reading this for the narrative techniques. 6. So it would be okay to inject more narrative drive into the story. 7. You can view the whole thing as performance art with hints of narrative structure. 8. In essence, it is hard to grasp a true narrative thread in this book. 9. And I am very happy that you like my characterization and narrative style. 10. A few more narrative tracks would have maybe filled in this information nicely. 11. Much narrative theory explores different ways of conceiving these variables. 12. First, it is too general to be of any use in distinguishing one narrative genre from another. If you like the video, please hit the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos.